Tonight we report on more information in Tuesday's shooting in Ephrata, and Grant County Fire District 5 shows its support for a fellow firefighter battling cancer. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Thanks, Alan. Big Ben drops a game on the diamond in Spokane, and 3 Moses Lake Chiefs are named to the AP All-State basketball team. Let's take a glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Well, here in the weather department, we are watching a cold front that'll be coming into the coastal sections tomorrow across our area to start the weekend, but the holiday weekend still doesn't look too bad. The tail's coming on up.
I'm Alan Troop, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Surveillance video may be the key in finding out who shot 3 people Tuesday night outside an Ephrata gas station. The 3 men shot, including 2 18-year-old Royal City residents, are refusing to cooperate in the investigation. The men were shot in the parking lot of the Tiger Paws gas station on Basin Street Southwest. Witnesses told police the suspect was near the dumpsters on the east side of the building when he shot the victims at close range. According to Ephrata Police Chief Mike Warren, several shell casings were found near the dumpsters. The shooter fled with other people in a dark-colored Mazda. The 3 victims were treated for gunshot wounds at area hospitals. Anyone with information is asked to contact Ephrata Police at 509-754-2491 or by email at crimetips@ephrata.org. Moses Lake High School is currently working on plans to renovate the school's track and tennis court that may be done before the start of school in fall if funds are available. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
Moses Lake High School has another problem besides figuring out where to put all its students. Its track and tennis courts are falling apart. Patches designed to fill in trouble spots on the track have eroded and cracks have formed throughout the running surface. The tennis courts are in as bad of shape with cracks across the playing surface, rendering one court unusable for the high school's team. Athletic Director Lauren Sandhop explained why full renovations are now essential.
Both the Moses Lake High School track and the Moses Lake High School tennis courts were done, I want to say mid-90s, let's say 95. So their lifespan typically is about 15 to 20 years. And so we're at that point right now where we're 20 years in, and so we've got some cracks in some asphalt, which ultimately affects the playing surface. So as you look at those facilities, you can see that the cushiony part of the track itself is getting compressed, and that's something that we need to address. That affects the kids' legs and shin splints and things like that. Community members come in and play tennis. Community members come in and use the track. Not to mention every one of our middle schools come and use our track for their meets. And so we really need to address that issue for multiple reasons. You know, not just for the athletic director part of me, where my teams are going out and playing on those facilities, but really our physical education classes and our community use those too.
Sandhop said the district is getting estimates for the renovations, but believes they could cost between $500,000 and $1 million. His hope is that if the district can find the money, the renovations would be done in time for the start of school in the fall. In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
Moses Lake is borrowing $1 million from itself to pay its employees. The city transferred the money from its water and sewer construction fund to the general fund after learning the city wouldn't be able to pay its employees if it didn't. Finance Director Robert Taylor said the general fund budget includes the money for most of the city's departments, including police, fire, recreation, and community development. City Manager Joe Gavinsky previously said the city would need to borrow the money to cover a roughly $1 million budget deficit. The deficit came after a decision last year by the Grant County Board of Equalization to decrease the value of REC Silicon's property from $700 million to $250 million. The decision meant the city didn't receive about $1.3 million in taxes. City officials expect to pay the fund $250,000 back in 2016 and 2017 and pay the remaining $500,000 in 2018. And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
Short break, we'll be right back.